Lesson 7.3, Video 1. Now we're going to focus on trig ratios and their inverse ratios. SOH is the way to remember these ratios. So the lettering represents sine, and we use a symbol theta for the variable, or angle, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of theta, or whatever angle you put in there, is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of theta, again whatever angle you're looking from, is equal to opposite over adjacent. Now in a right triangle, the longest side we decided was the hypotenuse. Okay, so the question is now, what is A and what is B? Which one is adjacent, which one's opposite? And that depends on where you're looking from. So if you're looking from angle B, then if you looked across the triangle, B would be considered opposite that angle, and A would be considered adjacent. If you're looking from angle A, then if you looked across the triangle, side A would become opposite, and B would become adjacent. Now notice that just like in geometry, the angles are labeled with capital letters and the sides are labeled with lowercase letters. So lowercase a is opposite angle capital A. So from all this then, in a rough example, if I wanted to find the cosine, so let's say cosine of angle A, that would equal opposite or adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent would be B and hypotenuse would be C. So let's try one with some numbers. They want us to find each one. Notice that they are all looking from angle X. So if you're looking from angle X, this side would be considered opposite. This would be considered adjacent, and again the longest side is always the hypotenuse. So sine X is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Again, that's sine SOH. So opposite would be considered 5, and hypotenuse, the H is for hypotenuse, would be considered 13. Cosine, again SOH, is adjacent, which would be 12 over hypotenuse, 13 over 13, and tangent of X, so SOH, so opposite would be 5 and adjacent would be 12. So these are the ratios given from looking from angle X for all three trig functions. And this is the end of the introduction to Lesson 7.3.